kindergarten friends. It's Mrs. Odd, and it's time for today's read aloud. Today I'm going to be reading our story a little differently than normal. I'm going to be reading the book from Epic. I'm going to screencast it to you, and for a little while you're going to see my picture in the bottom corner. When I start reading, I'm going to take my picture away so that you can see the pages of the book. Today's story is called Memoirs of an Elf. A memoir is a story written by someone's personal experiences. This story was written from the point of view of the elf. The elf in our book is not an elf on the shelf. This is a special kind of elf that is one of Santa's helpers. I hope you enjoy this story. I think it's really funny, and I really love the humor that you'll find in this book. Memoirs of an Elf by David Cillian and illustrated by Tim Bowers. Christmas Eve, 9:45 p.m. 2 hours until launch on Christmas Eve. The sleigh is loaded and I feel great. My ears are nice and pointy and I'm feeling extra short today. Bobbin and Nutshell look really good too. Around the world in 24 hours, and it's our job to keep Santa on schedule. I feel so good, I snap an Elfie. So boys and girls, instead of a selfie, he takes an Elfie. Isn't that funny? You can see them all in front of the camera. So in this story, on this page, we learned that this elf has to help Santa stay on schedule. Bobbin and Nutshell are the helpers, and they are going on Santa's sleigh. 10:45 p.m., 1 hour before launch, and it begins to snow. The reindeer love it. We elves have a saying, no snow, no Christmas. But at the North Pole, it has snowed every Christmas Eve for like 600 years, so no problem. I send a text to Santa. Time to fly, big guy. He says I worry too much. He's probably right. Okay, so in bold it says little known fact. So they're going to tell us a fact here. Santa is a really smart guy. Midnight. Launch time. Santa kisses Mama Claus and waves to the other elves. I've got the GPS. Bobbin is in charge of the toy bag, and Nutshell has the nice list. Little known fact. We don't even bring the naughty list with us. A crack of the whip, and away we go into the polar sky. I start the timer. 24 hours to go. So it's launch time. That means it's time to go. Take the sleigh and start traveling around the world to deliver all the presents. 22 hours to go. So far, so good. Guam and Fiji were a little warm, but back up above the clouds, we're as cool as popsicles as we head for New Zealand. Santa is singing, Here Comes Santa Claus. Little known fact. It's his favorite carol. No music, no Christmas. That's what I always say. 18 hours to go. Starting to worry about falling behind. Santa always wants to stop and pet every dog. Little known fact, Santa loves dogs and dogs love Santa. He's playing with a dog named Tugboat when I yell down the chimney. Santa, we gotta go. Santa just laughs like he always does. Okay, boys and girls, so the elf that's telling the story has a special job, and that is to make sure they get around the world in 24 hours. 12 hours to go, halfway around the world. Bobbin and Nutshell are arguing about whether the bag is half full or half empty. We're falling further behind because the kids have left more cookies than usual this year. Santa tries to eat all of them, except ginger snaps. Little known fact, Santa doesn't like ginger snaps, so he gives all of those to me, Bobbin, and Nutshell. Little known fact number 2, you should leave ginger snaps for Santa. Please and thank you. 9 hours to go. We're really slow getting out of Mexico City. Kids there leave tamales for Santa, and he loves tamales as much as cookies. I point to my watch and say, "Come on, big guy. No Santa, no Christmas." Santa just laughs and says, "Not true, Spark. I'll bet you a candy cane." Little known fact, when Santa is serious about something, he bets you a candy cane. 4 hours to go. We made up time in Brazil, but now Santa is taking too long again. This time he's playing with a train set that he just delivered. We're waiting so long that the reindeer start nibbling on some tinsel. "No," I yell. Little known fact, reindeer love tinsel, but it makes them hyper. It's like 50 cups of coffee. Bobbin drags Santa away from the train set. 30 minutes to go. With all of the toys gone, the sleigh is very light now, and it's a good thing because the reindeer are exhausted. Santa pokes his head out of the last chimney and yells, "Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night." We made it with half an hour to spare. Little known fact, at the last house, we always join hands and sing Silent Night. The reindeer too. And we head for home. The North Pole. Ta-da! We've done it again. Around the world in one night, and we made it to every house. We land at the North Pole where everyone is there to greet us. There's singing and dancing and lots of hot chocolate. Oh, and French toast. But as we're unloading the sleigh, Bobbin says he doesn't think the toy bag is empty. How can that be? We gave away every present on the list. But it's not a present in the bag. But it just licked Bobbin's ear. Uh-oh. Do you see what's poking out of the bag? You see right here? Oops, sorry. Didn't mean to do that. Can you see right here? What do you think that might be? It's Tugboat. Ho, ho, ho. We have a stowaway, laughs Santa as Tugboat covers his face in kisses. Santa is laughing and smiling, but I am not laughing. I'm panicking. "Santa," I say, "we stole someone's dog." The music stops and everyone is quiet. This has never happened before. Mama Claus says what everyone is thinking. I don't think it's a very good Christmas morning at Tugboat's house. Why do you think Mama Claus said that? Yeah, that family's going to be very sad that their dog is missing. Well-known fact. That means everybody knows this. Santa gives things away. He does not take things. We are in ginormous trouble. Any ideas? Asked Santa. Bobbin says we should put Tugboat in a box and mail him home. Nutshell said we should keep Tugboat for a year and take him back next Christmas. What do you think, friends? Is Bobbin's idea a good one? Put him in a box and mail him home? Yeah, probably not. What about Nutshell's idea to keep Tugboat for a year and then take him back? I think that'd be a really sad family for a whole year. I suggest we put Tugboat in a hot air balloon, and that would probably mostly sort of be okay. Do you think that'd be okay? Yeah, probably not. Mama Claus is the only one thinking clearly. "Get back in the sleigh," she yells. Boys and girls, do you think that's a good idea? I wonder how she's going to do it. But the sun is just coming up. Little known fact, we have never flown during the day. People could see us. We put sunglasses on the reindeer and change into disguises that probably aren't very good. The reindeer are tired and confused, but Santa gives them a few nibbles of tinsel and they race for the runway. Suddenly, we're off like a rocket back into the sky. We're all very worried, except Tugboat. He's having the ride of his life. Look at the faces of the elves and Santa. They look worried, and the dog looks really excited. His ears are pointy. He's got his tongue hanging out. Look at the reindeer. They have on sunglasses. Isn't that funny? 9:00 a.m. Christmas morning. We land behind some trees near Tugboat's house. Bobbin and Nutshell stay with Tugboat, while Santa and I creep up to the window. It's worse than we thought. There are all of the presents we brought, but they haven't been touched. The children are crying. Their mother is on the phone and their father is standing in the doorway yelling, "Tugboat! Tugboat! Here, boy!" "How dreadful," whispers Santa. We sneak back to the sleigh. Now it gets complicated. Bobbin thinks we should sneak Tugboat down the chimney. Nutshell is thinking about a big slingshot. What do you think, friends? Are those good ideas? Chimney, slingshot. I don't know. I'm wondering if the back door is open. It seems impossible, really. But Santa gives Tugboat a pat and says, "Go ahead, boy." In a flash, Tugboat takes off like a rabbit through the trees, plowing through the snow and toward the house. All of a sudden, the whole family's in a pile, hovering over Tugboat with kisses and hugs. More tears now, but they're the good kind. And I've honestly never seen a happier family on Christmas morning. Santa looks at me and smiles. "No Tugboat, no Christmas," he says. He's right, of course. Of course he's right. I slide a candy cane from my pocket and hand it to Santa as we climb back into the sleigh. Little known fact: Santa is a really smart guy. We're really happy, and before we head for home, we snap an Elfie. Have a Merry Christmas, please and thank you. Boys and girls, this was a really fun story, but there was a problem in the story. What was the big problem? Tugboat snuck into Santa's bag. When did they find out that Tugboat was a stowaway in their bag? Yep, when they returned home to the North Pole. Very good. And can you tell me how that problem was solved? Yep, they got back in their sleigh, put on some silly disguises, and they decided to take him back home. How did Tugboat reunite with his family? If we don't remember we can always look back in the story. Here it says, "I'm wondering if the back door is open. It seems impossible, really." But Santa gives Tugboat a pat and says, "Go ahead, boy." In a flash, Tugboat takes off like a rabbit through the trees, plowing through the snow and toward the house. All of a sudden, the whole family's in a pile, covering Tugboat with hugs and kisses. So he was able to go in, and did Santa and the elves get discovered? Did the family see them? Nope, they had no idea about Tugboat's North Pole experience. I hope you enjoyed this story, boys and girls. Have a Merry Christmas.